Hi everyone, this is your favorite realtor, Norm. Are you selling inherited real estate? I am Norm Odeneal, a local realtor here in Arlington, Virginia. I service all of Northern Virginia, Fairfax, Alexandria, Falls Church, McLean. And have you recently inherited a home, or are you helping manage the sale of a family member's property? This can be one of the most emotional and complex real estate journeys you'll ever take. And I want to help you make it easier. In today's video, I'll walk you through the critical steps to protect the home, navigate the legal side, and then prepare it for sale or rental. I'll also explain how a realtor like myself can be your guide through this entire process, from initial discovery of documents to potential probate, to questions around attorneys, to getting the home prepared for the market, ultimately on the market and sold, and going to closing. And then at the end, I'll share with you a bonus tip. It's around capital gains that can save you real money on your taxes at tax time. So step one, you want to keep the mortgage and utilities current. One of the first things I'll tell clients who have inherited a home is to keep paying the mortgage if one exists. Even if the estate is tied up in legal proceedings, falling behind on payments could lead to a foreclosure and complicate the entire process. If you're unsure, call the lender or servicer directly. At the same time, you'll want to keep the utilities on. You want to think about electricity, water, gas. You may not be living there, but inspectors, contractors, potential buyers, and for the whole health of the home, they'll need to have the utilities on and for access. Also, keep up with the yard and exterior maintenance. An overgrown yard can attract attention from the neighbors, the HOA, or even local code enforcement. The second thing, you want to locate the will or trust documents. Now it's time to figure out who legally has the right to sell the home. If there's a will or living trust, you want to look for the language that appoints an executor or trustee. That person is the one who will act on behalf of the estate. And of course, if no will exists, then the property is considered intestate, and you'll need to go through probate court to determine legal errors and appoint an administrator. In either case, I can help you connect with local reputable probate attorneys who can guide you through this process. Step 3, you want to request multiple certified death certificates. You'll need to have at least 5 certified copies of the death certificate. You'll use these to close accounts, transfer titles, notify banks and insurance companies, and then of course, initiate the probate process if necessary. Most funeral homes or vital records offices can help you with securing these. Also, it's better to have too many than not enough. Step 4, you want to open an estate or trust bank account. Once you have the legal authority, opening up these accounts will allow you to put the name of the account in via the trust or the estate. This is where proceeds from the home sale or any other estate-related funds should go. Banks won't release money into a personal account that doesn't match the estate name. This also helps with the accounting and record keeping when it's time to distribute funds to the heirs or file taxes. Step 5. You want to evaluate the property's condition and value before you list the home for sale. You're going to want to know how much is the home worth, what's the condition of the home, what kind of area is it in, are there repairs or upgrades to consider? I can help you with all of that. Number 1, I can also help you prepare a comparative market analysis, a CMA. It'll show you what similar homes in the area have been selling for or maybe currently on the market for. I can definitely show you how long it took for those homes to sell, how your home stacks up, and then if it makes sense, we can bring in a home inspector and get ahead of any issues in the property, tackle all this before we go to market. Together, we'll review whether it's better to make those repairs now or consider selling as is and price it accordingly. If the property does need repairs, happy to talk to you about selling as is or making those strategic updates. Remember, if you're considering renting instead of selling, some families aren't ready to sell right away. So renting could be a good option. It can provide some ongoing income, but it also comes with responsibilities. Some questions you want to ask yourself are, is the home in a strong rental market? Are you willing to manage it? Or will you need to hire a property management company? I can help you run rental comparable numbers, evaluate your return on investment, and certainly connect you with experienced local property management folks if it's needed. So there's a huge emotional component to this, and balancing emotional attachments and practical decisions is super important. This might be the hardest part. Maybe this was your childhood home, maybe it belonged to a parent or spouse. There could be lots of errors and other people weighing in on your decisions and judgment as you go through this process. And it's definitely normal to feel a deep and emotional connection to property. But here's the question I often ask. Is keeping this home really going to help you feel connected to your loved one, or is it holding you back? Sometimes letting go of the home opens up a new door and starts a new beginning. Less stress, more flexibility, and especially if you're not local or ready to maintain another property, whatever you choose, I'll support you in your decisions. And this decision should be made without pressure. So you'll have the time and information to help you as you go through next steps. So the bonus step, did you know tax basis and capital gains? Let's talk briefly about taxes. I'm not an accountant. However, when you inherit a property, you receive what's called a stepped up basis. And what basis means is just this. It's what the home is valued for tax purposes. It's the fair market value at the time of the inheritance. It's not what your loved one originally paid for the home. So here's an example. If your mom bought a home for $80,000 in 1985, and let's say it's worth $550,000 when she passed away, then your basis in the home is $550,000. What that means is if you were able to sell it for example, $555,000, your capital gain is only $5,000. This can dramatically reduce or even eliminate your tax bill. I certainly can help you with this or help you connect to a great accountant or a state attorney to make sure that you're reporting this correctly. Disclosures and listing as an estate sale. So because you don't live in the home, you may not know the home's condition, and that's totally fine. We'll simply list the home as an estate sale and indicate that the seller makes no representations or warranties. You're selling as is. Buyers are still responsible for doing their own inspections and due diligence. And final thought here is you don't have to do this alone. Selling an inherited home can really feel overwhelming. It's emotional. It's a long process. It's very logistical, and it's unfamiliar territory for most people. But the good news is you're not alone. As a full-service realtor, I've built a huge part of my business in helping others who are in your shoes right here. And for the past 20 years, I've been helping dozens, even multiples of families every year sell inherited real estate. We can take our time and walk you through the process. So when you navigate the probate and paperwork, preparing the home for the market, pricing it right to help it sell fast or maximize the value for you and your family, call me. I'm at 703-587-0945. I'm callnorm.com. I'd love to connect with you and see what I can do to help or answer any questions. If you've already gone through this process, I'd love to hear in the comments below. And please subscribe to my channel and share this content with someone else who you think could benefit from hearing this information. Of course, we've just scratched the surface, and I'd love to hear more about your particular case. I'm Norm Odeneal. Questions, concerns, hallucinations, call Norm.